And we're live.
Excellent. Hello world, this is the Pod Layer Proof of Concept demo team, here again doing our weekly experiments so the world can see the Mojo phenomenon that we're tracking and the methodology we use to do so. We'll be using our normal 3-act structure. Act 1 is fundamentals, Act 2 is intermediate, Act 3 is advanced. For the fundamental portion, we do work with associating the lexicon of terminology used for the physiological cues with actual real-life samples, and we do collaging mainly for that purpose. Right now we are
in the TV show timeline 95 through 99, and we are going to continue with Highlander the Raven.
Excellent. All right, so then in Act 2 is the intermediate portion, that is the bulk of our proof of concept experiment, where we had a week to go and look at 5-10 samples each, and they're the same samples, and we've been using blind test conditions to do so. And now we're going to see what the team has come up with as far as cohesion of opinion accuracy. The samples that were the most challenging to the team, we'll spend some time reviewing. And the samples this week come from Ben. And then Act 3 is the advanced portion. We'll be doing a live read, and the viewers can actually hear how we go back and forth discussing with each other what the possibilities might be as we try to dial it in. And that conversation they're having out loud is pretty much the kind of conversation each Mojo reader is having individually in their own head. So that's invaluable insight in how that is done. That sample will also come from Ben. All right, introductions, and we'll get into it. I am Nai G Coach.
I am Jaini Jailin.
I'm
Zai Nicodemus.
Didn't see there, Davis. I'm Naiji Mitchell.
I'm Naiji Ben.
And I'm Nijai Infiniti.
All right, take it away, Jelly.
Okay. I'm going to screen share with you all the TV pop culture timeline, 95 to 99. And as I mentioned, we're going to get into it, starting off with Highlander the Raven. So Coach will get us started, and then we'll go round robin, and each one of us will call out a cue on their first turn for the Mojo, and then any new time a new Mojo appears.
Actually, this week we're going to be doing Gender Mojo. So, and it's cool because in Mojo reading there is a difference in seeing dancing eyes, for example, in a female versus a male. So let's go and have fun with that. All right, Highlander the Raven. A female immortal, a thief, tries to redeem herself with the help of an ex-cop. Amanda, a reoccurring character from Highlander the series, is the main character here. An ex-cop, Nick Wolf, discovers her true nature. The two then team up to fight criminals and other evil immortals.
Nazi female, Elizabeth Grayson, as Amanda Darius. As a Nazi lady, she will...
I don't think I said the lady part, but
okay. Okay.
But the distinction at the beginning was good, actually. Calling out.
Okay. So then she has those cunning eyes, and then the unaware smile that gives Jai, that gives her the earnestness, but it doesn't go above the midline of the face. And I think because she is a lady, it tends to be sometimes more Jai vulnerability that comes through openly in their expression, like here on the left-hand side, than maybe with a male.
I think there's something to that. Jai has a range of kind of like waiting poses. It can go from pugnacious to sort of more vulnerable and like innocent, inviting. The ladies tend to be a little more open with showing that range of the spectrum, and leery of showing a bit more the pugnacious side of it. Whereas the males more accomplished on the pugnacious, a bit leery, sometimes of showing the more innocent, expectant side.
Gini Paul Johannesson. All right, as a Gini, he's going to be a lead discerner. So you're going to notice that he has something called unifield face. That comes with this quality where, specifically his G-emoting expression, you're going to see it kind of come up over the eyes, which creates this full lionic face look. As a lead discerner, it also means his mouth is going to pop more than his eyes.
All right. Nizy Patricia Gage. So she's an IZ, like we've read before, but another cue would be that she's logic-based. So her mode of expressioning, that you'll see with the Zhai, like Xiaolin was pointing out before, it's going to go in the mouth area, but it's not going to go above the midline of the cheeks. And it's going to stay below this kind of triangle zone that we often see within his eyes.
Oh, this is Naizi, male. Henna's Geniki. Um, did someone mention cutting eyes already?
I don't believe so.
No, not specific.
Okay. Well, Naizi are Nai Alpha, which means that their eyes will have a very cunning-eyed look to them, and that will dominate the area of the eyes, whereas if this person were, say, a tower or a pilot, there would also be discernment power energy in the eyes as well.
Sports Night. Casey McCall and Dan Rydell are sports anchors and best friends. At Sports Night, their nightly cable program, the two display their unique talents and skills in reporting up-to-the-minute sports news. When they step off camera, office romances and sports-related hijinks ensue.
Naizi, Josh Charles. All right, so I'll talk about the fact that as a Nai Alpha, they are subjective. And you'll see, for example, in the picture on the right, he's doing a 1,000-yard stare. It has that classic Nai with Zhai form of 1,000-yard stare. But it is natural for him. You can see he's kind of like, he's just zoning. He's just zoning out there. He can be there for quite some time. And then on the picture on the left, you're actually seeing him engage with a bit of Z, active listening, and even a little bit shy, kind of like taking in, sort of feeling how he is there. But still, he looks a bit far away. The Nai is still kind of peering over everything and from like this far away perched position, giving the hooded eyes of a subjective mojo.
Naizi, Peter Krause. That's Casey.
Naizi, Felicity Huffman.
Nizai, Joshua Molina. I believe that's new.
That is.
Probably?
Yeah.
Okay. So as a Nizai, he is a Ni Alpha, so he's going to have the dancing eyes that go along with that. Sometimes we even call them laughing eyes. They have this sort of diffuse, delighted look as they drink in the abstractions in the environment. Very distinctive. And because our perception lead is Ni Alpha, it's going to be you're not going to see the discernment going up very much into the eyes.
Naizi, Sabrina Lloyd.
Naiji Robert Guillaume. Let's see what we have. Okay, so Naiji have G as their tandem power. And one thing that you can notice, especially on the picture to the right, is that G will essentially, as they're articulating, it's meant to affect the crowd, and so basically there's this smile articulate and the resonating not resonating, as he's articulating, it goes up to the brim line, and you can really see it on the picture to the right, that G is basically going up, but not higher than the brim line.
Jivai, Kayla Blake. All right, Jivai are Giappa, so kind of like we were talking before about the G and I, they're going to have that full Ionic face where the G emoting goes all the way up. And in particular, for example, first on the left, you see how it goes all the way into the eyes, so that's the unit field face. But then on the right is that thing we talk about how she is not really doing much movement in the mouth area, which is often the center of where the emoting expression radiates out from, but still you see quite a lot of tone in her face and in her eyes, even though there's not much movement, a signature of the Jez Alpha.
Vizai, male, Greg Baker as Elliot. So Vizai, he as a V alpha, he has these V laser eyes. They're clear-eyed, and also this amped quality that comes from the V. And because he has Zai as his second power, he has sort of this smile, aware smile. Well, actually, the aware smile comes from the G that he has, but I guess the because he is Zai first or logic based, the smile only comes up to this midline here. So you see actually this when he is expressing, it goes downwards instead of going upward into the face.
Nizi Ron Ostro.
Upright Citizens Brigade. Agents Adair, Antoine, Colby, and Trotter both monitor and create chaos across the universe. The sketches you see throughout most of the show are different subjects being monitored. At the end of each episode, all the sketches and characters come together into one final sketch. Besides all the sketches, they have other segments where the UCB agents venture out with hidden cameras and try to incorporate the content of their bizarre sketches into the real world.
Nice, Matt Besser.
Nizai Amy Poehler.
This might be our first Nizai female. We did Nizai male.
That's
Yeah,
true.
the first one. You're right.
Okay, so let's see here. Okay. Nizai have Ni as their main power, and you could see the dancing eyes that she's showing on both of those pictures over there. Very excited dancing eyes.
That is Nizi Ian Roberts.
I see Matt Walsh.
Two guys, a girl, and a pizza place. Three 20-somethings share a Boston apartment and hang around and work at a pizza place. The lives and loves of three close friends, Pete, a neurotic architecture student, Berg, a laid-back pre-med, and Sharon, a tough girl with a soft center. Pete and Berg are roommates and students at a local Boston university, while Sharon struggles with her work and relationships.
Nijai Trailer Howard. Is that new?
That is new.
Okay. Nijai. Nijai have they have. Oh, well, we'll just do unaware expression, I guess. They have Jai, so you can see in both pictures they have the lower lip focus on the expressioning of the mouth as opposed to the upper lip focus of G. The emoting she's doing isn't to move the audience, it's her own internal resonation, authentic reactions based on what she observes with her knee, and it doesn't go up to her eyes. Her eyes stay with a separate rhythm than the rest of the emotive expression going on in the discernment interface.
Oh yes, Jinai Ryan Reynolds. Jinai is new, I believe.
No, we've done it actually.
We've done Jinai?
Yeah, we
It's the
talked
second
about the female.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
you're good.
Jaini Richard Ruccolo. I don't believe we've done Jaini.
We have not.
Okay. So on the picture to the left. So Jaini use Jai as sort of a resonating power when they respond to something from the environment and they respond emotionally to it. So on the picture to the left, you could really see how he has a smile, but there's more going on in the muscles that really go all the way. That there's more a muscle contraction that goes all the way up. That even just the smile really brings all the way high, and you can see that right over there.
You can also see the dancing eyes, for example, But what going with what Anthony was saying is those dancing eyes behind that that emotive sort of veil that goes all the way up.
Yeah.
Shiny Suzanne Cryer, is that new?
New.
All right. So as a, let's say, tower, the shiny is one of the tower mojos. So the emotive power is coming from a priority that is meant to calm and to balance. And so you can see that here in both of them, there's like a waiting, calm expectancy, and like an okayness with sort of just being. And that's something that Jai really excels at, was just sort of taking up the personal space it needs to, and just holding it without actually being wobbly or need to take more ground than it needs. A contentment.
Hmm. Ooh, I like that.
Genai Nathan Fillion.
Jaili, Jillian Bach.
Any day now, Mary Elizabeth, an outgoing white girl, and Renee, a shy black girl, become close friends as they grow up in 1960s Alabama. Their friendship comes to an end, however, when Mary Elizabeth gets pregnant and Renee doesn't support her decision to keep the child and marry her boyfriend. 30 years later, Emmy is still living in Alabama with her husband as they struggle to make ends meet. Renee, meanwhile, is a successful attorney working in Washington. After the death of her father, Renee decides to move back to her old hometown, where she meets Emmy again. As the pair resume their old friendship, they reminisce on old times and the events that occurred after splitting up.
Nizai and Pots.
Genai Lorraine Tuso?
Yeah.
You need to scroll up just a drop. I can't see. Toussaint. How do you pronounce that?
Toussaint. Toussaint.
Toussaint.
Yep. And she is new.
She is new. All right, let's see. Okay, so as their, wait, I just want to make sure, as their offside power, G and I have V, and V results in laser eyes, and you could actually see in both of these pictures, very pointed laser eye focus on both of these.
Still, the pilot's the most prominent, but they have a brighter quality. Both the Nest pilots have a brighter eye quality because of that than the Nye Alpha counterparts. Jibai Donzale Abernathy.
Dawson's Creek. Four friends in the small coastal town help each other cope with adolescence. Set in a small coastal Massachusetts town called Capeside, Dawson's Creek tells the story of four teenagers as they struggle through adolescence. This is particularly true for 15-year-olds Dawson Leary, an introspective dreamer, and Joey Potter, a precocious tomboy unaware of her beauty. Best friends since childhood, they're about to enter that confusing time in life where nothing is the way it was and nothing is as it seems.
Very poetic.
Mm-hmm.
She and I, James Vanderbeek.
Nijai Katie Holmes.
Oh, Nijai Michelle Williams.
Nizy Joshua Jackson.
Nizai Mary Peel.
Genai Kerr Smith.
Shiny Mary Margaret Humes.
Nizy Nina Rapita.
Nizy John Wesley Ship.
Oh, Jaime Meredith Monroe.
Genai Busy Phillips.
Sex and the City. Four beautiful female New Yorkers gossip about their sex lives or lack thereof and find new ways to deal with being a woman in the 90s. A sensuous and ironic sitcom about four young, desirable, virtually inseparable New York bachelorettes who lead and confide in each other, their ever-changing and confusing sex lives as different as their natures.
Nizai Sarah Jessica Parker.
Nizai Kim Cattrall.
He's Kristen Davis.
Means I see
How about that?
They knew what they were
Good casting.
It's an Nizai fest.
Gina Chris Noth.
Shiny David Eigenberg.
They weren't nearly as successful with Inspirational
Yeah,
Couple.
I know.
Couldn't find those nice.
It couldn't be true inspiration.
That's why I'm guessing all the relationships they moved on from them. I don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Even
Is
Europe.
this in mine? Okay. Willie Garson is pending.
Nizai Kyle McLachlan.
Yep.
This guy's father. Oh yeah, Gina John Corbett.
Nizai Evan Handler.
Gina Jason Lewis.
Nizai Lynn Cohen.
Nizai James Remar.
Nizai Mario Kanto. Sorry, I just couldn't see the name.
Oh, okay.
Oh yes, Charmed. Three sisters discover their destiny to battle against the forces of evil using their witchcraft. They are the Charmed Ones. The three Halliwell sisters discover that they are descendants of a line of female witches. Each has a special ability, stopping time, moving objects in the future. And they can also combine their abilities into the power of three to fight demons, warlocks, and other evils.
Nizai Holly Marie Combs.
Vijay Alyssa Milano. Okay, so the Vijay being a Jez gather means that she's going to have the bifield face where the perception pops out in a gathering, big eye, drinking in way above the unaware emoting that goes up past the midline but not into the eyes. The difference between the Vijay and the Nijai is that the Vijay are going to have those clear, laser-like, camera-like eyes. Sometimes, in a cool way, they have almost like a glassy or sheer, like a sheen. There's like a sheen to them.
Hey. Sorry, can you guys hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Good.
Okay, because I joined like about 10 minutes ago, but it didn't seem like anyone could see or hear me.
Yeah.
We didn't hear
Yeah,
you.
I can see you were trying to talk or something.
Okay, cool.
That's the first time I heard a voice from you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Jump
so-
on in.
okay,
Turn.
cool. Yeah, my microphone was not plugged in. Okay,
Wait.
sorry about that.
Oh, no problem.
No problem.
Gina Brian Crows.
Nijai Rose McGowan. Interesting, three sisters with three different mojos.
Shiny Dorian Gregory.
It's a blended family.
That's why it's the
Nigel
witches.
Shannon Doherty.
And that is new.
I think that was
Yes,
actually my turn, but
Was it?
because Mitchell went last.
Oh, I'm so sorry about
Yeah,
that.
that's correct.
Oh, it's totally fine. So should I do this one or like?
Go ahead and do that one.
Okay, that sounds good. Naiji are G-mojos, which means that they have G-aware moding that goes regularly above the midline of the face. In this case, because this is she's also a Jez hunter and not a G alpha, the moding will stop at the brim line right under the area of the eyes.
Nicey Julian McMahon.
That 70 show. Oh, no, that's Bruno. Thank you.
Go ahead, Bruno.
A comedy revolving around a group of teenage friends, their mishaps, and their coming of age, set in 1970s Wisconsin. Eric Foreman is a typical high school student growing up in Wisconsin in 1976 with his family and his friends. Together they have the same kind of joys and sorrows that just about every teenager has while growing up. This show parodied many of the attitudes, events, and fads of the 70s, along with those who grew up at the time.
Which is awesome.
Yes.
Nijai Mila Kunis.
Jackie.
Naiji Danny Masterson as Stephen Hyde.
Naiji Laura Prepon as Donna Enciati.
Naiji Ashton Kutcher.
Najee Topher Grace as Eric Foreman.
Nijai Wilmer Valderrama as Fez.
That is new.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yes. Okay, let's see, what can I don't want to do Dancing Eyes. Although I can't really think. You know what? I'm going to go with Vi. So the polar power of Nijai is Vi, and that leads to a more concentrated focus in the eyes, and you can kind of see that in the left one. Like there's a little bit more of a focus there.
Mm-hmm.
Versus the Dancing Eyes are more
squinting of the eyes.
squinting.
Yeah, gravitas. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nizai Deborah.
No, it's Bruno.
I'm sorry, I can't say his name.
Go ahead, Bruno.
I apologize. I'm really bad. Sorry.
No problem. Can you guys not see me?
Yeah, we can't see anyone right now because we're on
Straight-
screen.
We're just
Oh,
used to
right.
the pattern. There was like a
Oh.
pattern.
That's right. That's right. Okay. But you other guys can see.
Can I?
Oh yeah,
I mean,
Glenn's up.
Oh,
Glenn's up.
When did you get here? Okay.
Glenn,
no,
yeah,
sorry.
You're up.
of
I
course.
don't mean to just jump in like
We've
that.
got a lunch group
I
here.
think maybe a good protocol is if you do come in, after once we're already going. When we're on screen share, we can't see, so just like speak up and you can come in rotation. Sound good?
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Go.
All right. So this is Nizai Deborah Jo Roop. Do I do a Q or?
Yeah. Go ahead.
Okay, so Nizai have G as their offside power, so it's minor modulation. In both pictures, you can see that the emoting goes up, and it has like this triangulated quality on the mouth, but it doesn't go past the midline. Yeah, and the cheeks also look very sheer with the Zai, but yeah, the emoting doesn't go past the mouth, and it opens up to the left and the right more, giving a sort of like Cheshire cat look.
Yes.
Nizy Kurtwood Smith as Reginald Red Foreman.
Shove your foot up your ass.
Okay.
Is this your first one, Bruno?
What's that?
Is this your first mojo that you're reading off?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Okay. So are we doing cues for like male and female and first time read?
Yes.
Okay. As a Nizy, he will have Nai as his source power and be naturally boundary setting. And you can see here on the right, especially, he's clearly judging the whatever he's observing, and his slack mouth expression is sort of guided by the Jai, which basically seems to indicate some sort of that he's displeased or he disapproves of whatever's going on, and that is primarily guided through the Nai, which you can see as his eyes sort of cuts through all of that and gives the final word on the subject.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Jinai Don Stark.
Jaini Tanya Roberts.
Nijai Tommy Chong.
Will and Grace. Will and Grace live together in an apartment in New York. He's a gay lawyer. She's a straight interior designer. Will and Grace are best friends. Will is a gay lawyer, and Grace is a straight interior designer. They both live in New York. Grace is engaged to a real jerk, but when that relationship falls apart, she moves in with Will. This is only supposed to be until Grace finds a place of her own, but she and Will end up with each other as permanent roommates. Also in the cast are Jack, Will's flamboyant gay friend, and Karen, Grace's secretary/assistant, who doesn't really need to work because she married money several times.
Genai Eric McCormack.
Nizai Deborah Messing.
Nizai Megan Mullally.
Nizai Sean Hayes.
Jibai Shelley Morrison. Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's knock it out, and we'll end here.
As
Soap
the
operas.
And hard, team.
And it's only 98? I would have thought it went way before 98.
No. Notice the asterisk on these. Good observation. On these soap operas, because they go back so far, their lists are just like ridiculously long.
Ah.
I kind of just capped it, so I found like an era, and I just went up from there. And even just doing that, the list is huge.
Of course.
Game of Thrones.
Yeah, right.
big little town of Oakdale. There we go. Focuses on the relationships and difficulties of its inhabitants. Oh, new ground.
You ain't playing.
Yeah. You're up, Ademus.
Okay, Jaivi Terry Khan. All right. Let's see what to choose from. Let's do. Feel compelled to do laser eyes. So, okay, Jaivi, they're V-mojos. All right. So, all right. Here's an interesting thing. The Jaivi, their V-eyes, it's a bit more unique. It's not like a V-eyes where it comes first, it comes second. So what you're going to see is Jai coming into it a bit. So let's look at hers. You're going to see this visceral, laser-eyed like quality, but at the same time there's Jai going into it, so it adds an emotive tone. It adds kind of a hooded sheen over it, but since Nai is also higher up, you see a bit more of a feral quality to it. That's all I feel like talking about.
Sweet.
Nice.
And then, Jaivi Mora West. That was easy.
Vaiji, Michael Park. Vaiji, like the other Jazz Hunter, the Naiji, have the Ji go readily above the middle line of the face, but not into the eyes. It stops at about the brim line area. Ji has a warm, aware quality to it, and it has the quality of being aware of how it's connecting to its audience.
Vaiji Roger Haworth.
You might as well several MMA fighters.
Yeah.
Nizai Mary Wilson.
Vaiji Grayson McCouch. Pooch.
Baiji John Hensley.
Jaivi Kelly Minigan. Hensley.
Vaiji Trent Dawson.
Vijay Jennifer Landon.
Vaiji Jessely Sopper.
Nizai Ellen Dolan.
Jaivi Colleen Zank.
Vaiji Von Henses.
Vijay Martha Byrne.
Vaiji Don Hastings.
Vaiji Mick Hazen.
Vaiji Austin Peck. Yeah.
Jivey, Peyton List.
Vijay Alexandra Chando? Chando? I can't see it. Yeah, Chando.
Vaiji Mark Collier.
Jivey Noel Beck.
Zaimi Ua da Cruz. All right, so this is new. All right, so we can see from the both photos, I'll take the one on the right, is Zaimi are going to have the unifield face. Notice there's sort of like a general long, languid, calm, chilly quality to it, and of course the upbeatness that comes from having the Stillness Register eyes. But these are dancing. So the dancing eyes are quite pronounced there, but it has like this calm, chilly veil underneath it. And then the localized G, she has a large smile, but actually the energy is primarily around the lip area.
Vijay Julie Pinson as Janet Snyder.
Bam.
Okay, this is
That's how you do it. That's how you do it.
Nice.
Oh, I love the
As
show.
long as they were.
This will be our starting point next time.
Okay.
Something to look forward to.
Okay, so now we're going into Act 2, the intermediate portion, which is the weekly quiz. All right, gentlemen, take it away.
Okay, so as Coach mentioned, this week's samples came from Ben. Our requisite samples, so this first one is Brian Kibler, competitive Hearthstone player, popular streamer, and tournament caster, and we'll go round robin, working our way back, starting off with Bruno. Bruno, what did you guess for Brian?
I guess Naiji.
Okay, Glenn?
I said Naiji.
Okay, nothing needy.
Okay, just as an intro, so I'm actually doing partial reads here.
Oh, cool, yes, just say what you went for.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Nijez.
Ben?
He's probably last. I guess I'll go.
Last, yeah, so Demons.
I said.
Mitchell.
I said Naishi.
I said Naiji.
And I said Mizai. And what did you say, Ben?
I said Nizai, but I feel like there's a high chance he's an IG, so I wasn't too sure.
He's not
Yeah.
Yeah.
But understandable.
I felt like
Yeah, that's an interesting
Like
read.
his upper cheeks were like throwing me off. Like
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Okay.
he was, I think, to look at the hands. The hands of the directive.
Definitely. Yeah.
yeah,
they're
I
very
didn't see.
impressive.
I didn't really see
Also, the
too much gesturing.
monologuing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I could. Yeah.
It's not like gesturing, but it had this kind of quality.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Next one is Firebat, pro Hearthstone player under name Akron, tournament caster and 2014 Hearthstone World Champion. What did you say, Bruno?
I said Naiji.
Yeah, I said Naiji too.
I said Naiji.
I said Naiji. He's playing right now. By the way.
I said
Mitchell and I
Naiji.
are like there's like a big like tournament leading up to the world this year's World Championship that Mitchell and I have been following.
Oh,
So,
nice.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
I said
So-
nice for him too. What did you say, Ben?
oh, I said Naiji.
He's the IG.
All right. Okay. Dear Nadia, pro Hearthstone player as well. Under the team, is it the team Archon?
Yeah, it's the team. Yep.
Okay, cool. Bruno, what did you say for her?
I guess Nijai.
Okay.
I was going back and forth between the adserbs. I said Zaini.
Okay.
Okay, and I put knee momentum.
Okay.
I said Zaini.
I said Zaini.
I said Nizai. What did you say, Ben?
I was between Zaini and Nijai. I said Nijai.
Tiny.
Yeah, I was
It was pretty bubbly though.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah. She had a good
Good.
night.
Me.
Yeah.
Long and spidery though.
Oh,
That's
right.
cool. That's Hafu was actually turned over a few like in the Lays Purification. So we have both of the female Hearthstone players so far. I mean, other than probably the one that later on in the quiz are both Zaini. So
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to see.
Yeah. Next one is Masan, also pro Hearthstone player for the team Cloud9. What did you say, Bruno?
I guess Nijai.
Glenn?
I said Nija.
Benita?
Nijez.
Mitchell?
This is Masan.
Yep.
I said Nijai.
I said Nijai.
I said Nijai as well. What did you say? Ben?
I said Nijai, but he might be Naiji. I don't know.
Nijai it is.
Nijai it is?
Yep.
Okay.
Nice.
Both of
Hey,
them.
his Gumby claw was like what really.
Dead Gumby's
Yeah,
round
that's-
face.
Doesn't he remind you of
Also-
Stripecrow?
Yeah, he reminds me of Stripecrow Trump too.
Yeah.
So they all kind of riff a little bit off each other.
Last of the requisite, Eric Dodds, Hearthstone game director. What did you say for him, Bruno?
Guess Naiji.
Okay, Glenn?
I said Naiji.
Benita?
Naiji.
Mitchell?
I said Naiji.
Adimas?
I said Zaini.
I just sent it to you. I don't know how this is going to play out, but I said Nizai. What did you say?
I believe this.
Wait.
I said for Eric Dodds, I was between Zaini and Naiji. Well, Naiji.
I believe Naiji.
Okay.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Yeah, not Nizai.
His hands though didn't look spidery.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, optionals. First one is Eloise, Pro Hearthstone player for Tempo Storm, or called Tempo Storm. What did you say, Bruno?
Nizai.
Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking at Surf, I went with Nizai.
Ni momentum.
For Aloys,
Yeah.
Eloise. Yep.
I said Nijai.
I'm out for the optionals.
Okay. I'm out for this particular one. What did you
I
say?
said Nijai.
Okay, this is going to be a soft read because I would like to have had more media on her.
Okay, understandable.
Okay, so that means that it'll count here for this quiz, but I won't be including it in the publications until I feel stronger about it. But for our community and for quizzing,
Yeah, like the video media kind of was like
Sure.
there wasn't too much good media. So
But I believe soft read needs eye.
okay.
Cool.
Yeah, there was something about the lines, her fingers, it didn't have that vibratory quality like the way the Jai does.
Her smile definitely, or it felt to me like an upward turn smile with the knee eyes.
It did. I was actually, for me, I would like to have seen more digits
Yes.
because I thought I was seeing Adser pretty good. And her face looks wide, like more like a knee side, but she's kind of quiet. And there's the the Asian factor and so forth. I just would like to have more media.
Yeah.
So I think knees eye, but I'm gonna say soft. I think.
I'll probably be able to provide more media later on because as time goes on,
There'll be more and more media these
More
days.
variety.
She very recently showed up in the scene because she's from like China and most of her time was spent there.
Right.
So
She doesn't have a YouTube channel, I think, yet. So.
Not yet. Chanman V, host of Value Town podcast, not to be confused with his partner in crime, Trump, the mayor of Value Town. What did you say, Bruno?
I guess Nizai.
How about
For
you?
me, it was really hard. I was going back between Nizai, or Nijai, the Nijez, and also the sub-interpretive, the knee tandems, but I said Nijai.
I guess Naiji.
Mitchell?
I said Nijai for Shannon.
I passed on this one. What did you say?
oh, is it? Oh yeah. I guess Naiji.
I believe he's designing.
Oh,
Oh man, I knew he was something different, yo.
Interesting.
I was like, that
Interesting.
Tricky.
Thinking design. Oh.
Okay, I have no idea how to properly say this, so
you can call him Adwood or ADW.
Yeah, I think that sounds.
Either way.
He pronounces his name.
okay. Hearthstone Arena expert, creator of the Hearth Arena program, the most popular Hearthstone arena drafting tool out there. What did you say for him, Bruno?
Naiji.
Yeah, I said Naiji.
I said Naiji.
I said Naiji.
I said IG.
I said Naiji.
Oh no.
Jesus, Levi.
You guys make me laugh at the voices though.
Okay, we got it. Yay,
Okay.
He is. He is Naiji.
Wow.
team.
No. I think Coach said Z. Bye. I think Coach said.
Yeah. I get scared when that happens because like I really don't want us to miss this. Like I'm rooting for us as a team to get.
I
those
know.
ones right.
Yeah. I know, seriously.
Yeah.
Next one is Forsen, competitive Hearthstone player and popular streamer. What did you think for him and Bruno?
Nijai?
Hey, Glenn?
For him, I said Naiji.
Okay. I said Nez Alpha with conscious Z.
Okay. Okay.
All right, for foursome,
Yep.
Yeah.
I said Naishi.
Yeah, he's a Naiji.
I went with Naiji as well. What did you say, Ben?
I said Naiji.
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 You know who he rips off?
Who?
That MMA fighter. What's his name? Oh, Carlos Condit.
He does have that similar. Or Zai, for sure. The Noxious GLHF, popular streamer and tournament caster for Hearthstone, known for playing fun, offbeat, experimental decks. What did you say, Bruno? For him?
Naiji?
Fun?
Yeah, he was tough. I went with Nijai though.
I can see that.
But you?
I went with Naiji.
For noxious, I said Naishi.
I said Naiji as well. What did you say, Ben?
I think he's like a Naiji with like good energy.
Naiji, good energy.
Okay.
Right.
Alright.
Cool.
So, what looks like going into? How do people do?
Definitely the Zaini.
The Zaini, yeah, the Zaini.
Yeah,
man.
definitely.
Yeah. Good one.
Chan Man.
Yeah, no one-
Or Dear Nadia?
I think Dear Nadia too would be good to go into.
Nadia was requisite, but I want to do the male as well. So definitely, we'll start with her and see what other requisite ones we need to touch on. But I also want to do that Ziny male in the optionals.
Okay. Cool. So you're not yet. Ben, do you happen to have the videos?
Yeah, I could go to the thread real quick. Let's see here.
Oh, I have the videos already up. I can send you.
Oh,
guys
you
one.
do? Okay, that'd be great, Glenn.
Yeah.
So Dear Nadia it is.
Yep.
And you're not yet.
All right, here you guys go.
Thank you.
All right.
Sweet. That I'm sorry.
You got her correct?
Yeah. Did anyone get her as Zaini?
I think something like that.
Yeah, I got her correct.
Who did? Who?
Dear
Did-
Nadia.
Oh, I did.
Dear Nadia? I got Dear Nadia.
Okay.
Okay, cool. So, go ahead and take
So
the
yeah,
next
you
step.
guys take lead.
Did anybody get it wrong?
I got her wrong.
Yeah, I got it wrong.
I'm pretty sure most of us got it wrong. Or
At least
kind
three
of,
people.
or it,
I think maybe
or
half.
like half of us.
About half and half. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a good one to do. I wouldn't mind looking at her.
Wait. There we go.
Hey guys, I think I'm having a bad night. My internet
Yeah.
died.
Kind of reminds me a
I
little
did
bit now.
try. I
Thinking
figured out
back,
Periscope. That was pretty
who's the
cool.
one that has the
You
that
want a
sports
Periscope? That was
show? I don't know
fun.
why she
You
reminds
don't know
me.
what that is? It's like a live streaming thing, but for mobile. So that I was like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna figure out how to use my camera to make a YouTube
Yeah.
video
What'd you guys
recording.
see?
And I recorded
That,
the video, and my mic wasn't on.
For her, one of the things.
What I want to talk to you guys was
Let's
basically,
see here.
and I figured out the question.
I will say that
It's-
this was a slightly harder video to use, and going off of this video, I saw a knee right away. She's got kind of a chipmunk-like mouth, and so I started off toying with the idea of Nijai, but that didn't seem right.
And
Her other videos that actually show her hands, though, and actually show her from further away.
Yeah, she's like opening gifts.
much time.
Right.
You would see her hands
Yeah.
on the gifts, and
You
I'm like,
can
they
really
look
see her
long and
longness in
collapsible.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, she has very, very slender kind of like frame. Her head is even slender, and her fingers, they have that quality as well. And when she's manipulating things, she kind of reminded me of like, I don't know, like a spidery gesture, very much. And the eyes are very big, but there's a lot of Zaini females that have a lot of very big eyes. I've seen.
Just from here, like the way she's sitting, like the collapsibleness, you can already see like the towery languidness. You
Yeah,
can
look,
also
she's
definitely
doing-
see like the longness
You're gonna
of
see
the
a lot of
face
hands,
too.
Yeah. And her face is entirely like unflappable, but it seems like kind of almost
gonna.
You know, it might be hard to see that, but it is definitely there.
Yeah, but she does this like affected emotion thing where like she'll put on a display of emotion, so it can seem maybe like she's trying to seem values based or something like that.
And see,
Yeah.
like that's
Which is probably pretty common for females.
I love it.
And another thing is the voice is got this kind of like yangness from the Zai and a heaviness with it as well. And you can hear it like when she's drawing the words out a little bit more. There's like this tactical kind of like kind of quality that she has to it.
Okay. It's a cosplay out there.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
sort of
Also,
like
like you can see Nemo mention, but it's how it peeks out from hooded eyes. You know.
she's about to.
The eyes are big, but they are
Yeah,
definitely
like the way she's
hooded.
appearing out there.
They're a little bit like deer in headlights.
Yeah.
very good point.
Yeah, it's knee dancing eyes, but it's hooded. It's hooded,
Mm-hmm.
so it's an interesting look compared to.
Yeah.
And
total
it's
spider
pretty
eyes right here.
considering she called herself Dear Nadia, because like her logo is like a deer or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and his towers can have that look.
It's a very towery animal.
Could do by somehow.
Wait.
But yeah, you can also see that emoting. The cheeks are not moving at all.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
a real big one.
Cool. What other ones do we want to take a look at?
I think Chan Man. Well, is there any other records ones we want to cover?
Let's see.
I think most of us got Kibler. Like I got him wrong, but I don't think most of us did.
Yeah, I got him wrong, but I don't think most of us.
Yeah,
did.
like Jelly and I guessed Nizai, so that was.
Then
What about Eric Dodds? What did people guess on?
I think most people did.
Most people
I
said
think a
Nigeria.
couple people guessed Zini. I think so.
Guess inside.
Okay, do you want to take a look at him since we did?
We could like to take a look. If it's like a few people.
Yeah, he had a lot of eye.
Cool.
Yeah, I consider like Nijai even too, but
Yeah, I
Just
did a
like
little
the
too.
adapted,
Because
it's
like
just like
it adds like,
Nijaz,
the
but-
Zai kind of adds like kind of a yinness sort of.
yeah. But I was pretty sure he wasn't Nijai because I wasn't seeing.
What helped with him for me was the quick kind of snarls would go with space when he would do the G, and then the hands. They never seemed to look like spider to me.
All right, I've sent the links.
Oh, thank you.
Game Digital.
Oh my god.
Yeah, he kind of reminded me of like Ben Brode a little bit in terms of like the energy.
He was with
A little
Ben
bit.
Brode. It was like since.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they both have this kind of like creative energy kind of thing, even like Noxious.
This video kind of jumps around a bit. We may have to skip around to get this
Yeah,
footage.
I'll do
Oh,
it.
I think it gets a little bit more consistent at 133.
Yeah, gesturing is more tensioned. It's
I guess talking about some of the specifics in Goblins versus Gnomes. One of the things that I was most excited about
yeah, I guess here that the
gesturing
video is
is
playing for
directed.
someone else. It's not playing for me right now. Like it was, but it's kind of stuck in volume right now. But
and what's interesting about those is sort of twofold. One is very often you want to clear the enemy board so that they sort of don't have any options. And
The eyes have a sort of like pseudo earnest quality. Like it almost seems warm and earnest, but it's just
Yeah.
it's very
Yeah,
you know,
I see
Broadway
that.
setting.
I know what you mean.
He's got this kind of like HSP, kind of like frantic, not frantic, like a little bit of a,
and I've then got to figure out.
you know, like an HSP kind of energy to his hands, his body movements, everything. It looks a little bit tensioned. You can
He's
definitely pick up
he's
on
dying well, but looks a little bit anxious.
that. A little bit anxious, yes.
But he's kind of like throwing it into his pitch. You know, he's kind of using it to energize.
It's an asset.
It almost I can feel a little bit of the energy cascading over his pitching maneuvers.
But I know just the way to get out of it. And choosing a useful path to get out of it.
It's a little, the voice is a little quick, and there's a little bit of, the jutting, like right here, how you're moving around the seat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right here, this one thing helped me see what's in Zion. He's not comfortable waiting. He's great. He's doing as graceful as he can here. He's not comfortable allowing the questions coming to him. He does it more politely than I would say easily or comfortably.
Good point.
Yeah, I get the impression that he doesn't want to let the momentum fall anyway. You know what I mean?
He doesn't want to fall, and he doesn't want this to go somewhere that he doesn't feel he's in control of.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, those gestures, they seem a bit too...
He's got a bit of a hunch too. It's kind of...
Yeah.
I guess a specific story might be that there was a...
Wait, so this guy's a Zaini, right?
No, this is a Naji.
This is a Naji, okay.
Yep.
I think some people thought maybe Zaini and that maybe there's other guesses as well. Nizai, so it's not Zai heavy, and I can see why. But I believe he's kind of hiding his anxiety and also playing it less, you know.
Yeah, I really did consider Zaini too because of that.
It's right there. That's a gesture I see Zaini doing a lot. The one you just did there, but it didn't look the same.
Yeah, too much tension.
Too
much
fidgetiness.
I can't do it.
The eyes in particular didn't look like dancing to me. They looked kind of more detached.
I agree.
More cunning, more.
He looks like coiled to pounce always, even when he's waiting to answer questions.
That's right.
He hasn't looked away from like that person or thing much. I mean, he does quickly, but he's locked in, like locked in.
Yeah.
And what was John said?
John testing his right.
Okay. Just reminded me of
Who are we watching?
him, the same one. Same guy.
That's funny. You can see the controlled emoji even more than
I think the drawn, the broad face is what drew me to Nizai.
We knew that it was going to be a game that a lot of people
Yeah. Or even objective. Just.
Yeah.
genre, and that if we could open it up to a tons and tons.
The forehead also looks big.
A lot of people excited.
The upper part of the head.
There's just like this earnestness in like what he's saying and the way he says it. That's like, it doesn't feel quite like it's natural. It feels like he's like, it's like a thing that he does. It's not, you know, something that naturally. It's like the earnestness doesn't.
Well, that I think is probably the riff because he has so much Zai on for sure. But as far as like say G momentum versus modulation versus Zai momentum modulation, the G does seem like it keeps coming out. Like he's actually having to keep Zaiing it. Like I see energy in his mouth keep wanting to do stuff. And when he delivers things here, like I hear a lot of Zai, but things like ba 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 and ba ba ba, he kind of gives it a little earnest pop. But that earnest pop, I think because there's such a Zai break on it, it takes away a bit from the charisma or maybe the believability of it.
Okay,
I kind of hear like his
Crackle.
voice doesn't sound Tower Tunnel. It sounds more like there's more emoting going on there. The way he's speaking.
Well, it's not emoting. Like Tower Tunnel would be for a tower, so like not
So
necessarily.
I'm saying there, it sounds like then say a Zaini, it doesn't sound like it's Tower Tunnel.
Oh, I see.
It sounds like it doesn't sound like Zai Tower Tunnel. It sounds like there's more emoting going on in the voice and.
Yeah, and you can also hear like there's like a little bit of a crackly thing going on because there's like a Zai in his throat, like a Zai frog in his throat or something. I don't know. Because he's got like a little bit of a break going on, so it kind of like takes away from charisma a little bit.
It does, but note this here. When he's notice how he's tracking the other person's reaction as he talks. He is right now. He's doing it. He's like watching them while he's talking. And then when he's listening, he also is like he moves his head around and kind of nods in like rejoinder with them, like he's as Zai as he is as far as giving things away. He's extremely aware. Attention to a quick time. He never stops paying attention to that channel.
Like giving away secrets?
Well, how it's going. He basically tracking everything they're doing, like as he's talking. He keeps reading their faces. It's probably why he seems a bit maybe insincere, a bit possibly, or whatever you might want to call it. But he's a bit more making his little Zai'd up. It's a bit obvious that he's doing it, but he's basically reading the person while he's talking to them. He's keeping his voice very modulated so he can track right there, like, see, blah, blah, blah. But those expressions, like, he's doing that while never stop watching.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Right,
and also,
he's hyper-aware, yeah.
And also when he's listening, he's, like, looking around, constantly tracking that, which is also why he doesn't look as comfortable as a Zaini or a Nizai would look in the receptive mode. He's kind of just like watching to see how everyone played the turns that they were given, and now it's his turn to go again.
This is pretty classic of like a riff that knowing that I'm Nijai, that often confuses people for objective. Also, on the flip side, like I can really identify these riffs a little better now, because it's like it hits me as adaptive, but I know that that's wrong, and so then I just like flip it to the other side, and Naiji is the most logical answer there.
One thing that always kind of gives it away from me, like right here, like this guy's watching. Here, you see that guy on the right? It's probably Nijai talking to him. As Nijai's like throwing stuff out, he's like, kind of like validating the Nijai is going the right way of the conversation. He kind of does it to everyone he's doing here, and even when he's saying his own words, he kind of like saying like, and this is good, this is exciting with his energy. It's a bit overly tactical, which is why maybe the sincerity may look like it wasn't quite as there. When the G's flowing a little easier, then naturally it seems more sincere because it's flowing easier. But he's, I think it might not be necessarily he's not actually being sincere. It's just that his form of discomfiture, he's controlling it this way, which is controlling his emotions and noting everyone else's, and trying to stay like out of the danger and making sure it's going okay.
Being a little bit playing it too safe, I think.
Playing a little too safe, and not just safe. I guess they're related.
Comfortable.
Tight. He's playing a bit tight. Kind of like in a tennis analogy. He's very tight in his maneuvers. Makes it a little hard to have the full kind of like flex with what he's doing.
Yeah, he lacks a slinkiness, I think.
But
you're saying someone else is a Nijai, you're saying?
No, I was saying that the way I kind of tell him apart from, say, a Nijai, for example, is because is that how much he wants there to be a certain outcome. Like I've noticed that Nijai often, when they're selling things, they want the person to leave feeling positive. But it's more general. It's more vague. It's not as specific, where he's kind of like trying to get like certain almost like talking points or message points across, and he's very concerned that whether or not they're going across well.
And that gives him, that seems to be
He's eyeballing him. I'm talking, but are you understanding the words that are coming out of my mouth? He's been doing the whole time. He's being friendly, but he's like watching, like, I'm telling you about my thing. Are you tracking? Because he wants to make sure the interviewer, for example, is like getting all his goodies. He's very concerned about that.
It's completely tied into the whole HSP and the somewhat tight expression.
Yeah, I so relate to that. I know I do that too.
He's concerned, I think, about giving away things he doesn't, and also whether or not he's given his deliverables.
Yeah, given the things he wants to say. Yeah.
And he's locked in, like his eyes are just so locked in the whole time. Like he looks away every now and then, but he does do V lock in quite well because of, I guess, all the other stuff he's doing. Like he's kind of
steering. He's steering the conversation by saying nothing. He's going, yeah, you get me, you get me, you get me. You're going the right direction. But still not comfortable. He's not as comfortable in the waiting position, even though he's got so much Xi on. You know what I mean? Because a real Xi momentum, a real Xi mode would be much more comfortable in that mode.
Mm-hmm.
Slightly too strong, maybe you wouldn't feel the need to.
Interesting case.
It is indeed. All right, good stuff.
Yeah, maybe the Ziny.
Definitely don't hit that one.
Yeah, Chinman.
Yeah.
Did anybody even consider Ziny for him? Just a question.
I did.
Oh no.
I didn't even guess.
Ben, by the way,
Ziny for who? Eric Dodds or Chanman?
Chanman.
I said Nizai.
Someone said Nizai.
Okay.
Yeah,
Ben, did you hear me?
Oh, what?
Firebat 1.
What do you say, Mitchell?
Firebat 1.
Oh, okay. Thank
He
you.
was down 2-0.
Oh, wow. That's crazy.
Same thing happened to Trump.
Oh man,
Trump was
it gets
down
really
2-0.
tight when it's at the very end.
Play by play.
Go ahead.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And let's see.
Sounds like a boxing match.
It is. It's like that. It's 3 rounds, and they have 3 different decks.
I don't know why we're getting garbled.
All right, so go pause real quick. All right, a couple things jump up right away. Here, there's 3 of them. There's 3 total. There's 2 right here in this freeze frame. Right now, I believe we're seeing his momentum. He's on his right. you're seeing Zai resonating because he's on his right, but the cheeks are actually becoming cooler, not warmer when he's on his right, and there is those, I think, dancing quality to his eyes. When he starts talking, when you hear the audible, you'll also hear kind of this sort of tower tone, the Zai kind of quality on his words. Yeah, going play, but the main thing, as far as I think some people may thought like Niger or something, I don't believe I ever see his emoting go out of the mouth area.
Yeah, I mean, I guessed Zaini, but that was my fourth guess after Zaini, and yeah, I was thinking like at the very end when I was right before I put in my answers, and I was like, there's something about this guy that seems to strike me as a bit of a Zaini. He seems to remind me of some Zaini that I've read before.
Yeah, I said Nijai, that's what I guessed.
There, yeah, Nijai, it was my answer too, because I was like, no, Hearthstone, right? Nijez. But no.
Which name is that?
It's a little more hard.
Mouth.
But I think
the mouth is definitely localized.
He has a very affable kind of use to his G.
Yes.
May think that it was values based. But if you look at it, it does not actually go to that mouth region.
Yeah, the mouth looked weird, and I was thinking maybe that's unaware Jai mouth. That's like a slacky no, but it's actually localized G polar emoting. So it's very interesting, and he's also the fact that he doesn't have that rounder sort of like gatherer face quality, like it's kind of like a physiological cue. It was bugging me. I was like he has the mouth that looks kind of like Jai, but the face doesn't look like warm Gumby. So what's going on here? And he seems to look a little bit more slendery, spidery. So I was just kind of going back and forth. I was like, maybe I'll just put Zaini as my fourth guess.
He does have a good amount of bobble going on for sure, though.
He does, yeah.
The eyes are pretty classic to me, at least. Like either Asian or South American, like in native descendants that like have small eyes but are knee based. Yep. It's a pretty classic look for at least for me because. But also,
there's that quality, but then also I think the hoodedness. They're very they're very dancey, but they still have that kind of like
I should have been a bit more open-minded because I actually didn't consider Zaini. I was between the two Niches. So I ended up defaulting to Naiji because I was seeing the subjective. But I should have also considered some Zaini.
Yeah.
Because the voice really does look localized here.
I wonder if I fell prey to the same thing.
I was comparing it to Amaz.
It's the only one I use myself, but if there's another video, I'd like to see one perhaps that with more gesturing.
I put 3 up, Coach, so there's 3 there. The very 3 last ones.
Helpful,
Thank you.
You can see his spider hands a little bit, they come up, but it's very quick. You don't get a lot of time to look at it.
Let's see what this one has. Not this one. Okay, let's check the last one. Alright.
Oh, yeah, Mech Bearcat and Toshly.
I'm just I don't know if you can get a video that has more hands. This is the third one.
It's okay. Alright, I think we pretty much got that sample then. Do you guys see, are you seeing stuff then? It sounds like you have the localized.
Yeah, I'm seeing the localized G, seeing the hooded eyes with the knee dancing eyes, and the Zai and possibilities.
Unifield face.
And I also feel them kind of putting me at ease in a way.
Yeah.
Like, about this game, I feel kind of calmed by it, and also like it's calm and also playful.
Yeah, and also very. He's very heady about the entire game as well. He's got a lot to say, a lot of intelligent
I don't feel like he's
ideas.
going to push me on a message necessarily, but he does seem extremely.
Yes, yeah, I know, but he's very like. He feels the need to want to explain certain like fundamental principles about the game. I guess you could say. Not necessarily.
It doesn't seem like he has like another thing that powers kind of give off naturally is that there's like a fairness. Like
Yes.
I'm not telling you about this subject, he's kind of giving like a fair weighing of things.
He does a lot of sneering, like not sneering, but like mouth juts to the side like this when he's doing that.
Yeah, like Rictus.
Rictus, yeah, he just did one.
Right.
Grimace there,
That's very much like a Zai when it's on the right. It's like I don't know if that feels just right as far as like the Zai is concerned. I think I like this card better than this other card because it seems more playable. It seems more valuable.
All right, nice. I think we're all set then for Act 3, the advanced portion. Ben, do you have something for us?
Yeah. Has Ben Carson been read?
Ben Carson?
Yes. The Republican neurosurgeon dude.
Let me.
Who made the controversial comment
Show
yesterday about Muslims?
Oh,
I'm not too familiar with his comments, but I know he's running for the Republican nomination.
I see.
He
This
said
is
something not too good today. Or yesterday.
But I'm definitely not surprised that he said some controversial things.
Hey, Demas, are you? I noticed your lights are out as well. Are you feeling heat like we are, man?
Oh yeah, it is unbearable.
The power's out? No, yeah.
Yeah, it's really
In case
hot.
you're wondering why over here we're doing the ninja mode.
Temp is out there. Oh my god.
Well, it was in the 90s today, but it's still really hot inside. It's like 86 or something like that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's raining over here.
Okay, so we said Ben Carson. All right, let me load up an interview. Dr. Ben Carson, is that the one?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Let's put him on here.
So he's actually a doctor?
I think he's like a retired neurosurgeon or something.
Oh, okay.
So it's.
All right, let's see him.
Could I get a link?
Kennedy is Zenai, right?
Who?
Zebai.
Oh,
Kennedy?
Andy?
Kennedy, yes.
Zebai. Yeah.
Sean had yeah.
Let me grab the link real quick here, guys.
I wonder what it says on Coach's shirt.
I do all my own stunts.
I actually had that. I had that shirt when I was like in 4th grade, and it was like awesome. Like I got that for like Christmas or something, and I loved it.
There you go.
so cool.
It's always true.
I do all my own feats.
5 years. Like
Yeah.
us. Go team.
Indeed. Okay, that is the person, I believe, right, Ben?
Yep, it is.
Yes.
Awesome. His eyes are kind of squinty. His eyes are squinty.
I was noticing something like that too.
They're kind of what? What's the word you just used?
Squinty?
Squinty. Okay. I thought I heard you say twinkly at first. I'm like.
Opposite. Well, twinkly was very squinty.
Well, it could be, possibly be both.
That's definitely a G
Obviously,
smile, right?
twinkly to a lesser extent, if that's the case, but.
This guy seems warm, like charming.
Yeah.
Charming, I guess.
It's a very thing that our founders were talking about when they said it's so important, and our system of government is based upon a well-informed.
I feel like I'm seeing G.
Yeah. And I keep seeing his eyes flash and lock on with the person, and kind of like.
Yeah, like they seem to have that that vie to need kind of look, where it's like squinty to twinkly kind of thing.
Yeah. Seems that way.
Was married at 13.
It's kind of far away. I feel like.
Oh yeah, that looks like she to me.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, looks like it goes up high. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I thought it was stupid. All my classmates thought it was general agreement, but that was in 5th grade.
He's
That was in
He's doing some jutting, but it doesn't seem like full momentum for him. Like he's coming in and out of doing G jutting, but he seems more comfortable, like peering from behind, like behind that, with those squinty eyes.
After being inspired by looking at all the books that her employers were reading.
You're saying the person. You're saying like the eyes are lead.
And
Yeah, it seems
Yeah,
like
perception seems to be the lead. Yeah.
Yeah,
if you start reading books,
because his eyes are always on and locked on, no matter what he's doing with the charmingness. Even there, he was like, he had a big smile, but he's looking like really squinty-eyed, but he was like reading Zevi Hannity right there.
Squinty-eyed and diffuse.
Yeah.
he would look over your
Squintiness is also like a physical thing, but I think there's like a concern.
It's associated with the
Well,
power.
Seems like this Squinty seems like also part of assessing things in a focused sort of
I agree.
way that
Yep.
with by users.
Yep.
But after a while, actually you get to
Yeah, he doesn't seem like a pilot.
even though
No, and
No.
his head seems leaner too, like more hunter looking. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems.
Yeah. Yep.
And it's like squinty and kind of like sort of
he was
I guess is detached a good word even if it's for bi,
and
right? It's
that right there.
Well,
kind of
Well, not
Worldview?
technically.
Non-real time.
Yeah, not.
no, it's a bi is a subjective power, so they're as far as away from the environment.
Yeah, non-real time. I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Or removed.
It's like, yeah, the worldview powers are more like in a homeostasis kind of thing.
I mean, detached would technically work, but we sort of reserve that word for Nye.
Yeah, yeah.
What I
Well,
Like,
I think I get what
like,
you're
what would be
getting
a
at.
better word to use that would apply just to worldview powers? Because
Yeah.
I think you're talking about there's kind of a HUD screen quality where it looks like they're staring at the world through the lens of something else.
yes, yeah,
Through a world
yeah, exactly.
Mm.
Thank you.
Very over. Yeah, Coach said that's a good way to putting it.
You know, they were all Republican gummies.
Yeah, I remember that's how you describe like the Jive
Figure out.
face.
Yeah.
Yeah,
when I was
looking-
talking about FKH wigs, yeah.
And he seems
Yeah, looking.
leading like the conversation with that warmness, that charm, but his eyes are always like looking to see how things
Yeah.
The eyes are like the opposite. They're like the opposite of cunning. They're like, I don't want to say earnest because that's again a Jai term, but they're very non-cunning.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah,
matter.
more focused.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Have you ever seen
looseness?
what you get kind of thing. What you see is what you get. Like the facts are the facts, and that's
Right.
Have
Yeah.
you ever seen Will Ferrell's impression of George W. Bush, where he
Oh,
makes his eyes like
so
extra
funny.
squinty?
Yeah.
It is a strategy.
I haven't, but I can imagine it right now.
I can imagine doing it right now, actually.
Well, his hands seem to have the tensioning of a hunter. They're not as big as a pilot's, doesn't look like, but there's that tension there.
Fairest individual
Uh,
has got, and he's given us
I would say hard spider.
Hey, Giuliani was purified to Vaiji, right?
Was he, Coach? Yes.
Okay.
That's correct.
You know, I feel like the HUD screen thing, it's sort of like interfacing, right? Like the worldview powers, they sort of interface with the world.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the worldview map powers actually look at the world. The dynamics mover interfaces with it. And so all the hunters, whoever this person is here, but as far as the hunters, all the hunters will have what Deems talked about, which is they're looking out, and they actually have a HUD screen which actually lays out a framework of either G or Z. But because they're looking at the world from that gives that voyeur quality, that watcher quality.
What's
yeah,
a HUD
yes,
screen?
exactly.
What is it we're talking about? A HUD screen?
A HUD
What's that?
screen, it's an acronym that stands for Heads Up Display, which is basically like an interface, a screen that is right in front of your face within your field of vision, that is layered over your actual view of the world.
So
Cool,
exactly.
like the Terminator?
Yes, exactly like the Terminator.
Okay, cool.
Or like the Iron Man suit.
Is what'll happen is as you look
Yeah,
at
they're meant to too.
any object within the HUD screen's view will always be, this what makes, I think it's a great analogy that Demon said there, it will always give you some sort of like value. And this doesn't have to be judgment, it's just watching, and it's actually going to canvas. So as it looks, everything's like, doo-doo, human, such age, relationship with this, and everyone kind of gets a tag. And either G or Z, everyone in the HUD screen you're looking at gets tagged as something.
It's like the Scouters in Dragon Ball Z.
Yeah, or like the little thing in Iron Man when he goes into the suit. And Jarvis. Jarvis is like his thing, in a way.
Do you guys want to put another interview? Want me to put another interview on? Because we're about
Yeah,
in.
go for it. Yeah.
I'm feeling pretty confident.
Yeah.
We can definitely
Yeah, and I have another one we can do.
Do you have a? Go ahead and load it up.
I think the fact that he's like a neurosurgeon also helps.
Another video or another person, Ben?
No, another person after. My bad. I didn't mean to. I should have been more specific.
I got you.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So far, have there been any adaptives in like politics that are like running for presidency or anything like that?
No.
No, right? So it's mostly just a directive game like MMA.
Right.
I can see where that would be.
Zenai and Baiji and a few like rarely Naiji, rarely
Actually, there's more
Baiji. Oh, there's more.
Mizy as well, yeah.
Some ZY.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The Nai-Z I don't think show up.
Show up in what?
Like
Politics?
might be, but no.
Yeah, not really.
That's interesting. All the hunters except for Nai-Z.
Yeah.
Nomination is Republican
Okay,
President.
here's our
Dr.
guy.
Ben Carson. Dr. Carson, thanks so much for being here. We always appreciate your popping by. You spoke at the rally, as we saw in the report. I want you to take a listen to what the Executive Vice President of Planned Parenthood Federation for America, Don McGann, said to CNN earlier today.
When they talk about defunding, Americans need to know what we're talking about
Like a
is
Zenai
cutting
right here.
women off cancer
Okay, let me
screening.
fast forward.
Abortion
Which you, as a doctor,
The lady was a Zenai or the interviewer?
Looked like it. The lady looked like a Zenai.
I respond to that.
Yeah.
Services
See that.
Yeah.
are available to multiple other sources. And to
The glasses made his eyes a lot squintier than they are.
Yeah, I think he was squinting in general in the last.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just exaggerated, but it's still the same deal.
Yeah,
Oh, very much squinting.
that same pattern of squinting with a little bursts, twinkles every once in a while.
eugenics.
Yeah, he also has like this
And even
poise too.
plurality of their clinics.
And that warmness of the voice, but it's not too buttery.
Well, it
It's
doesn't
not like the
make the
buttery of a
argument that
full
they would
G
make,
alpha,
which is
but it
that
has some butter
those
to it.
services you're talking about, forget abortion for a second.
I actually said poise. Like he has a poise. The way he
Definitely.
holds himself.
Oh, yeah.
He seems naturally refrained.
Yes, I
But-
see that.
He has a lot of dialogue, a lot of expression with his eyebrows that he does, just like and articulation. Seems
Yeah.
very much like a hunter.
You take
Like a jazz hunter.
another part of this, which has to do with the
It actually reminds me of the basketball player James Worthy from the Lakers, but I don't know if I don't think he's been read.
um,
James Worthy.
Yeah, we'd have to check the 16K.
stem cell research. Where do you draw on?
Well, almost virtually everything that can be
It has this monotone sort of tone that
using
sometimes bi-alpha can
can
have.
also use other kinds.
So,
So if it were the only way to do something and there was no other way, that might be an argument.
Yeah, the voice reminds me a little bit of Vaiji Berry Gordy from the head of Motown, founder of Motown.
And the new
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
and Zach Kerry trying to sell to Congress. Arkansas Governor Mike Huckabee said in very vivid language that he thought the deal would lead Israel to the door of the oven, obviously a direct reference to the Holocaust. Jeb Bush has criticized Huckabee. Rick Santorum has defended him. What's your take? Is that language offensive? Is it vivid and accurate? What do you think?
It's pretty colorful. I early on was guilty of very colorful language, and I discovered
Certainly true.
that
has a whole
people could not do
graveliness.
what I was. So I dialed that back.
Would that be Zai that causes that?
The way that you can actually get it across to people without them stopping and saying,
Would be Zai in the third position?
Speaking of people using
Yeah.
vivid
And I
think it's kind of a worldview thing. Like Ni Alpha will like kind of drift off more as they do it, whereas like Bi Alpha will kind of just be like a kind of a quick kind of I don't know.
Yeah, and I guess I was referring
Knowing
to
one
like
of the
the
drivers would be
droniness of
drunk.
the voice.
That's
That
what
would be.
Oh yeah.
I think. Yeah.
You don't have to defend the language; it's not for your campaign. But how are you preparing for this debate? And are you thinking about what strong, controversial, crazy comments might come out of opponents' mouths?
Well, I prepare for debate on a regular basis because I do a lot of town halls and I never screen the questions. I take all questions. So, I've had hundreds, if not thousands of questions from people.
Yeah, it's very much that kind of preacher kind of voice.
Yeah.
It's like it's
Yeah.
you know like the when they're doing like very like modulated, very calming.
Right.
More than
Not
politicians.
as dynamic, but more just very calm, poised.
Yeah.
Listen.
I want them to
Squinting
recognize a very reasonable
with that
A
warm.
lot of squinting.
Some of the detractors would have you believe that I'm totally crazy and a wild person who has no information. And it would be nice for people to be able to see this.
Okay. Do you guys feel ready to make a call? I mean, I think it's like we're kind of.
Yeah, I don't think I've
Yeah.
seen anybody like
Yeah.
like express anything that led any other direction other than Baiji so
Yeah.
far.
Oh, is that what we were talking about, Vaiji? No, I'm kidding. Just had to do that. Yeah, we're on the same page.
Okay, so does anyone have anything other than Baiji? Put it that way.
Nah.
All right, we all say Baiji.
He's by G.
Good.
Nice. That was pretty quick.
And Ben said,
I've got
Yeah,
another
we got it.
example. If
All
we
right.
have time.
Let's do it.
His name is Chris Metzen. He's a game developer for like World of Warcraft, and he's also a voice actor. And yeah,
Chris.
Chris Metzen. I can type his name in the chat.
Yeah.
Let's see here. There we go.
Thank you. All right. You said he's a.
He's like a game developer and a voice actor.
Hey guys, I gotta go a little early tonight, so I'm gonna
Okay.
head out.
All right, have a good night, Mitchell.
Enjoy the last
Mitchell, before you go, one thing real quick is I just want to go over, I was going to do it later, but I'll do it now. We're going on the one temple a week schedule on a 3-week rotation. Last week was Naiji. This week, tomorrow, will be Nijez/Romantics. And then the next week after that will be Interpretives.
Okay.
So, for example, Adimus, if you wanted to come to those interpreter ones every 3 weeks, you're welcome to. I know you're very busy, so no expectations, but we'll go ahead and send you an
I
invite.
actually don't think we did Naiji last week. I think we did Nijez. We did not do Naiji.
Yeah, but it ended up being kind of Naiji because no Nijai showed up.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so real quick, before you go here, Mitchell, it's just this. So tomorrow will be the Nijez. Who is sending out the invites? Can you send it out, Mitchell?
Yeah, I usually do.
Okay, great.
Are we gonna do all these on Monday? All these temples?
That's the plan for now. That's the only most we can meet. Okay.
That's fine. I'll be there.
Thank you. Cool.
Sweet.
Or do we? Let me ask a question. Do we have an open day to space it, like in the middle of the week, so that I don't know. We don't have to talk about it now.
No, I think we kind of worked over a period of time. This seems to be the time that people can meet.
Okay.
But we can.
We could talk about it, though, because like personally, like Tuesday would be better for me. So.
Okay, Tuesday could work too, but I think either Monday or Tuesday. So
it can't work this week.
Okay, what works this week? Monday? Does Monday work this week?
Absolutely,
like,
yes.
Yeah, either one works for me. I'm just like.
Okay, so
I'm rather open.
Tuesday's 100% out.
All right, it's 100% out.
Yeah, it can't work. Tuesday, Monday can.
In general.
No. Just this week.
Okay, so this week Monday, we can talk Mitchell, and then we can talk about Tuesday in the future. All right, let's move on.
So is the Naiji and the interpretives also going to fall on a Monday?
As far as we know, but Monday or Tuesday. Monday or Tuesday.
Monday or Tuesday. Okay, fine. That's cool. We'll decide on a weekly basis.
Yeah.
Julio. Okay. Chris Metzen. Let's see.
I did check, and he does have interview footage. I didn't gather it, but it should be there.
Yeah,
How do you spell his last name?
I put in the chat.
Oh, okay. Oh, Metzen. Yeah. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you very much, Kid.
All right. Let's see here.
Link
Link forthcoming. Here's the link. Let's play it.
The fans there, and now we're back here at the anchor desk with Chris Metzen right off stage.
Okay, so Chris
Powering up the
Metzen.
crowd
Here's the
with
guy.
new expansion. That was fun.
On the right
That's one of your most impassioned BlizzCon openings I've seen in a while.
It's like the same old thing. Like every year, like it doesn't actually get easier.
That's a
Like
long
my nerves
face.
are shot, and wigging out. So like the energy, I guess, just kind of comes out. You know, it's a whole game of like
not going to, not making a total ass out of myself, but just kidding. Well,
Most of his work has been on World of Warcraft.
You got some big news.
Does he riff anyone off Hugh Jackman right away?
You're very involved in the Warcraft movie.
I've had a leaning towards Nujez, but I haven't narrowed it in. And I don't.
Maybe. I don't know. I feel like I want to take in more of his cues.
Years of coming to BlizzCon and having all the questions, people ask, how's the movie going, and not really being able to say much.
I don't know. He has a little bit of. I'm still at the satisfaction almost.
I'm riffing on something. I feel like I know this.
Yeah.
This physiology, but I haven't pinpointed it yet.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I feel like I've seen that face.
I want to save the reveal.
Ringo Starr?
Let's just say.
I don't know.
No, that's Nizy. Yeah.
No, I'm not getting Ringo Starr.
And,
The mouth definitely just feels Z, Jai to Z.
great to get some
But first impression, I mean.
BlizzCon. So wasn't the opening ceremony
Yeah.
tomorrow? As you mentioned, I think 12:30 Pacific or something. There's the panel tomorrow. So it's might be one, maybe 12:30.
And we will be covering that live on the.
Like if he were a Nijai, he would be that riff of Nijai that's like very very directive seeming.
Very
Very much so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guy, yes.
Myself, but you brought a little bit of pride and respect back to the alliance.
I know. I feel like I'm seeing a little bit of like Russell Crowe.
Forget who we are.
A little.
More.
I do think I'm seeing a Moda going pretty high. So there's that.
I look at the internet too, and the alliance community I think has been very vocal.
Just you saw the voice go up into the cheeks.
That,
Yeah, I'm looking at his pictures. He looks different, like he has.
It's just not true. But I thought about it a lot over time. I thought about the storyline they
I'm
called
seeing
out.
his sheds,
The
I
storyline still, moments with that.
He does the weighing thing a lot with the hands.
Ringo, that fails.
I don't
Like
know that I'm seeing
I've heard it
Gumby.
said this way. It's just a little weird.
What are you
It's
guys
theory
seeing?
crafty, right? But I've heard it said this way. With comic
I see,
writers,
like-
right? That writing
I don't
Wolverine,
see it curling in.
right? It's this really
Yeah.
compelling, gritty kind of thing. But writing guys like Superman and Captain America can be very
There's
difficult.
this one magician dude.
Upright, and that's what
Yeah, it's pretty tricky.
that it can be
It's
really
very jittery energy.
some storylines where these
Well,
very
he's comfortable
upright
with
characters
like
are very
reading the
conventional.
conversation.
They don't make mistakes. They don't, And
I
so
I don't know.
wondering
That
ways
doesn't
sometimes to
necessarily
use
mean
that to in our
goal,
development. That the Horde's a little easier to get gritty with and really kick your fingers
Hey,
on.
Charlene, were you saying you are or are not seeing the Gumby claw?
I'm not.
Where do you go? So it's a little harder, but
His
it
hands
is not
seem
remotely
leaner
impossible.
so
It's actually
far
really
to
fun
me,
work.
and
Something
not
we're very mindful
that,
of.
like this
I'm
continuous
trying to give a
curling
shout out
of
to
the
the Alliance
hands.
because when I think about these old games and I think about Warlords of Draenor, the first frame of reference I can do is the Alliance. If I'm an Alliance champion, just going, oh hell, not this.
I mean, I'm definitely seeing perception lead like that. I'm pretty certain about.
Yeah.
That's why I was like,
You
I
know
don't.
I agree.
Okay, the riff that I'm getting is of Darren Brown.
Panel coming up.
Of who?
Darren Brown. I'll put his name in the chat.
It does involve
He's
the
a what?
character Gerard.
Darren Brown.
Very
Let's
recent.
see.
Orgrimmar.
Darren
I
Brown.
don't know, like he seems a little bit like him. Like
And Darren Brown is an IG, right?
yes.
He escapes before justice can be done. And with a special friend of his that might have some time travel.
Does that make sense? Do you guys see that a little bit? Maybe.
A good question. I guess I want to be very clear
I
with
see
our
what you're
fans that
saying. Like,
Kairosh is important to facilitating the storyline. Everything I told you is true. But he
Yeah.
is not, in fact, going to be the boss of the expansion.
He might be like a really.
I see what you're saying.
He might be like a really subjective, heavy kind of Nijai. I'm not sure.
And
Yeah.
have
I want to stay open to that, but I also want to present something forward as well.
our time.
Guys, what mojo is Tony Randall from The Odd Couple?
Let me ask one question before Jeff.
I'll check the 16K to see.
Some clarification.
Randall? How do you spell the last name?
Yeah, Randall.
Who is the orc
The Odd
Is it
Couple.
leader?
Brooke said.
In truth, we haven't actually.
Tony Randall is an IZ,
Gut
I
is-
believe.
Okay.
Treated
The Odd Couple, yeah, he's nice.
Okay.
for this chap.
I feel like I'm
That's
seeing
something
the
else we have to
eyes.
consider. Maybe he does have Giants and IZ.
I get to go to
Yeah,
South
maybe he's nice.
South Bay.
Kind of looks a little bit like Kriparian. I don't know, a little bit.
Yeah, let me
I can kind of see that. Yeah.
Like who?
Different look.
Oh, Kriparian. He was a Naiji on like a Naiji Hearthstone player like from like a few months ago that I read. You can
Yeah, Kriparian has a more rounder, wider kind of face though.
Well, you guys, if this freeze frame that we're looking at right now, it's at like.
This is Kriparian.
Where is it?
On the left-hand side? No, it's Chris Metzen. On the video right now?
Yeah.
No, I put Kriparian in the chat.
Oh,
I sent a link. Yeah.
What's the freeze frame?
Really? I don't see it.
That I'm just talking about is this video that I have on right now. The one that.
there it is.
Who's Kriparian?
Kriparian is a Hearthstone player. He's an IG.
I put I put his images in the chat.
Ah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
I'm not. Yeah. Because some people didn't know who he was, so I went.
Oh, him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's an IZ?
No, he's an IG.
Naiji. Kriparian is an IG. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay,
And the look that this guy is doing right now in the freeze frame at like 1 second, it seems kind of hunter-like. I don't know.
It's a new video.
Seems like he has a hunch.
Yeah.
So
like locking in the camera look.
Yeah.
Like 1 second. 1 second. Is that it?
Yeah, 1 second. 1 second.
Okay.
He's looking down. Kind of.
Right. He has like a hunter hunch going on, and he's got like a. He's got tired-looking eyes, and I'm wondering if they are hooded. But I think they could possibly be.
Here with Chris Metzen, the Vice President of Story and Franchise Development at Blizzard Entertainment. We're here for the Heart of the Swarm.
Yeah, the way he's like touching his hands together like that seems like a Naiji. I don't know.
Yeah, he doesn't seem at ease, and he seems to be looking to the left a lot.
Yeah. Will Kerrigan's playing in Heart of the Swarm.
Maybe it's an HSP.
Story you guys up to?
And he seems like locked into his position a little bit.
Ever, for all of our game products, this is the one that is most character focused. It's definitely about Kerrigan.
It has a cool office.
It's definitely about her.
Yeah, it is.
And kind of this.
I know, I like that office. I don't like to live there.
Back
we all.
Chapter's really about for a girl that's been kind of used and abused.
Yeah, the eyes definitely seem cunning.
Yeah, and his
really
hands are like, more like doing this.
And now that Rainer's bought her this chance, it kind of freedom.
Yeah, that seems more directive to me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chapter's definitely.
Seems to be monologuing, hunter hunch.
Yeah.
She was venturing to hold it together,
Like in this one in particular, I'm leaning more towards Naiji.
A little bit of Zach Galifianakis, Naiji Zach Galifianakis.
I think that's cool.
Comparing it to past Blizzard products.
That seems reasonable.
Back to like Frozen Throne, which was Arthur's story, was also kind of in story and tale.
He clamps his mouth a lot. It's an interesting gesture.
It does.
Gonna matter a lot in Arthur's.
Sure. I think Rainer definitely
Seems
featured.
very like shy in a way. I don't know. Reserved.
I guess I would argue with some meta level that Rainer's kind of there was one.
KG, for sure.
The one honest, roughed up cop out there in the universe of compromise. So while Kerrigan is definitely the protagonist
like
in this
if
thing,
this is a new
we
genre,
can probably bet
he
that
seems
Minx
like
is
very
gonna be
not
in
at
crosshairs
ease.
before too long.
So
Zeratul
I'm not so sure about that. I think he's got like a confidence to himself, but he just plays it a lot more.
Yeah,
calm.
he doesn't seem
Could
like
be.
the eyes, like he seems like
seeing how important Kerrigan is.
I don't know. It doesn't
So
seem
I
like
would
comfortable necessarily with.
expect to see a little
He barely looks at the person. He like steals little glances, but he barely look. He's like looking just to the ground, basically.
That's right.
So a lot of you guys
Yeah,
are
like-
dancing around Naiji, and I've heard you guys talk about like nice stuff, directive stuff. Does anyone actually feel like they're seeing Ji though?
Yeah, I think we should consider Naiji too.
Yeah, because I'm thinking like we really should open up the possibly. What if this is a Naiji?
Yeah, because
Great
we
point.
did mention
Great point.
like they were thinking Nishai as well. So and Nishai and Z and Shai, so that's kind of You know, it could very well be like kind of have that combination. For reason.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's a similar 9Z kind of like riff, possibly.
Yeah, the mouth, the facial. I was seeing the mouth. I was feeling like I was seeing Jai right away, but it may just be the facial hair that's making the lower lip seem more prominent. I can't really tell. But okay, so if it is a NIZ, then it's a NIZ that has a good amount of HSP, because he doesn't look at he's not taking into the
Shy, yeah.
yeah, and if it is an IG, then the lower lip thing is just totally a trick. It's totally optical illusion.
I don't know. You guys take a look at this picture, for example. It seems like he's emoting above the midline and like
Do
to
you
the
find it really
left.
difficult
It seems
to
like
design
what do you guys
your
think?
kind of characters for the Zerg being as aliens?
Above the midline and to the left, you said.
You're out.
Um,
Well, there's the visual.
Can't tell.
I'm still actually very much considering the Nijai. I don't know.
yeah,
Something tells me
that
something
picture
tells
actually
me.
reminds me. Yeah, I am too. That picture reminds me a little bit of Kevin Smith, the director.
Kevin Smith. He seems a little bit more like comfortable, I think, in himself.
Yeah, I mean, not the video, just the picture. Sorry,
Yeah.
you were saying something. Sorry about that.
It's hard.
Oh, yeah, I just think that he might be like a really heavy gravitas kind of like Nijai. I think I've
There is
seen
a tone
Nijai.
to his voice. Like
that
I
was
hear
the
a heaviness in his voice.
Kind of the first big.
Yeah, I think I've seen this kind of like riff
kind of sound. Yeah.
Like Hugh Jackman was the first thing that I thought of, but I mean, it could just be one of those cases where it's like Nogez, like Axwell, and some other guy, or it's like they're completely different. They just look alike.
Form is definitely
Right.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I'm seeing intensity from his eyes as much as I'm seeing like a drowsiness that comes from like the shy.
Okay.
It's set out to be.
It does seem like this
smooth
picture, for
story
example, that I
revolution.
just put up, like it seems like the emoting goes up the midline.
versus
I'm not
her
saying
coming
whether,
straight back
not
and wings,
speaking to whether it's a directive
it takes a hard
or
left turn right in the
like
middle of the story,
a
where it's
Nijai
possible
or a
that it's happening.
Nai or a Naiji.
Oh yeah, because we were talking about NIZ, and that's where the comparison. Yeah.
That's what we do. Oh, it'll save a lot of people.
Yeah.
But and his buddies calling out like, really, we're going to risk all these guys and get this girl back. But that's.
The Onion guy from Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
Onion guy?
The Onion did? Oh, you mean the guy that hangs out with the
Stannis. Yes. Yes.
Which one?
Podrick?
No, the guy who hangs out with Stannis. And he smuggled out
Sir
the
Davos
onions.
Seaworth.
Davos.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
funny. I was thinking that too. I'm not so sure he's NIZ, but I was thinking he kind of reminds me of the Onion Knight.
Yeah, interesting.
Okay, so he's a NIZ, right? I'm pretty sure he's a NIZ. Yeah, okay. Yeah, he kind of looks a little. Okay, yeah, I see that. But I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not so sure. I'd say he's NIZ, but there's something.
I like the riff though. I like the similarity there.
If somebody else
that's a
said
good
it,
one.
then,
I like it a lot.
Then I'm not crazy here. So.
It's kind of a dark.
Excellent.
But
It's kind of an interesting GIF image.
with a mighty.
Let's see.
Back against the shadow.
That's exactly the GIF that triggered the memory of the connection with Davos.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, it's only like a quarter second, but
Identity that Sarah holds.
Cool. It's a cool one though.
And she always just reacted to people's manipulation.
That would reconcile the two things that I'm seeing, which were the mouth, the Z mouth, which I'm not so sure of because of the mustache, and then the cunning eyes, which I think are, now that I look at it, are more prominent. So maybe an IZ.
And obviously, at the end of Harvey's Form, her story does not end. She will also play.
I don't know. This one picture here, it seems to me like the emoting is going up, beyond the midline.
It's definitely about all the unrequited feeling.
I'm still wondering about that.
Yeah.
I'm really bad about that, so I don't.
I'm also.
I'm not there yet.
I'm not there yet either.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
I usually just look at upturned, downturned, upper lip, lower lip, and even obviously that's pretty difficult.
It's infancy a little bit.
I do feel like I see a lot of lower lip action though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I would consider probably Nijai above Nizi currently, but
it's even back to Starcraft.
I think I'm seeing Nijai the most. I don't know.
I'm not sure if I'm seeing Nijai the most, but I would.
It's fair.
I can't tell if I'm seeing lower lip at all.
Okay.
Like, to give an idea of like a Naiji, you can look at the Vikings, the dude that plays.
I got it.
What's his name? Travis Fimmel? Is that his
Like the image Shailene sent, I've seen a lot of Nijais that kind of look like that.
Yeah, I still see
first. And there's always the argument of like,
I'm right now still leading with Naiji at this point.
But no one has pointed out a single GQ though.
Right.
Yeah, I think that's really important to Eunice. I've noticed that like when we get things wrong, it's a lot of times it's because we didn't we often didn't point out cues that went towards that direction over another one.
What about Zai? Although it's to say really the same thing. I mean,
cinematic sequences that hold the whole story.
Articulation seems like Z. Is Z and Jai. Z and then Jai like emotive tones.
Yeah.
Pauses.
I gotta say,
I mean,
it
you
feels
could
very
really just do like a hard-boiled Nijai.
I don't know.
Or salty Nijai, whatever.
Until you ship the game.
I just pasted a link to pictures of Sir Davos in the chat. Can you guys take a look at that?
Yeah.
I saw that. But
What mojo Sir Davos? Sorry, I'm not too.
He's a Nizi.
Nizi, thank you.
The level design be what it is, and just facilitate.
And that's the name of the act, the character.
Yeah, that's the character. That's the character. Yeah.
Sir Davos would be an awesome name though.
That makes
you happen to know the actor's name?
I don't
Cunningham,
remember.
I think.
I don't know. This.
Posted for it.
It's like Cunningham, I think.
I mean, I'm not sure if it means.
William Cunningham, I think.
I do see the angle.
He seems to be looking away a lot, like on the objective versus subjective thing. I haven't seen him really look at the interview very much.
Well, I mean, Jailene, there was that one sample that was recently updated. What's his name? Astro?
Yeah.
Astro? He didn't look at the interview at all.
Is that Gummy Claw or is that Wizard?
A lot of people have allergic
doing gesturing right now.
A certain type of game that's hugely cinematic, but that's why you buy it off the shelf in the first place.
Like his whole poise, like his upper chest and shoulders poise seems very Hunter.
Can become very.
Yeah, that's what I'm noticing.
So that's something, but I've got these big stories to tell.
Like Nijai, when they do that, they have more of like a it looks more artificial.
Who's the MMA president? Like he doesn't seem like very effusive when he talks, but because he has like a lot of Zai with the eye.
Streamline the flow of stories.
I guess maybe that's.
Straight back into the next.
So he seems more serious, like this guy.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's a Nai plus Zai thing going on.
Where would you like to see it go?
Although
Void and Beyond.
Although it could be.
It could be, I mean.
Wishing for that. It's hard to.
No, emoting definitely goes up
in the pictures.
Yeah, I feel like it goes up.
I feel like I'm seeing lower lip in a lot of the pictures. I'm not sure.
Oh, I think it's hard though because of the mustache.
Yeah, that is
right.
true. Like,
Exactly.
So I don't know like what to think of that, and then the hands. I'm not seeing Gumby. You guys seen Gumby?
As an industry.
No.
I mean, I will definitely give you that one. Like, I feel like I don't see Gumby either.
I mean, our voice.
And it does kind of look like it very well could be percussive.
Rock.
Yeah, so I guess what the things that I'm not, I can't reconcile.
I think we're getting into a space where our storytelling is becoming.
Could he be a Xenon?
In a Hollywood level,
Or something.
I would feel like his head would be bigger and his.
Yeah, I don't really see a lot of like natural. I don't really see a lot of the level of jutting that you see.
That's right. That's right. Jutting level, yeah.
It seems like it would be more localized just around the mouth rather than.
Yeah, like his mouth almost has kind of a sweeter look to it, like I don't know.
His hands look very directive. I'll definitely say that.
Hands definitely look directive.
Yeah.
Here, I pasted a link to pictures of Zach Galifianakis, who has similar facial hair and similar eyes, but I can't really tell if they have the same mouth or contrasting mouths.
Your genius.
Yeah, maybe he is a Nazi.
Well, how does that feel then?
Well, Galifianakis is
Galifianakis is
Naiji.
No, I'm talking about Chris Metzen. I'm just. Sorry, I sometimes say things that have like no context.
Please.
Oh, yeah, it's yeah.
Yeah.
Fine.
So it starts chipping.
Like the sound, I'm not hearing butter much at all. Like I'm hearing very much deadpan.
I'm hearing like someone who's very dominant, and I know from experience that some Naiji that are dominant use a lot of Zai and don't come off necessarily as like caring or warm, but they're leading the conversation with G. So that's why I want to be careful of that, you know. But I'm not saying that he might not end up being something else, but I don't want to like knock it out just because we seem to he looks serious, you know.
Exactly, just like John Bernthal and whoever, and then whatever, all these other people that have tricked us because they specifically want us to feel something that we do get tricked by.
Do you guys have one more interview? Just maybe a minute of it?
Yeah,
let's look at another interview, man.
I have one.
Yeah, I feel like I'm kind of not really getting any more from this.
We've seen 15 minutes of this one.
More data, more different kinds of data.
More data.
Right.
Here is the other link. Let's play that.
Interview with
And I saw in the freeze frame, it looks like he emotes at least like once, because the freeze frame was him smiling, full on smile. Oh, there's smile.
Yeah, I think the emoting does go above the midline. It does. This seems like it does.
Wow. Really regular.
So Nizy seems like I want it to be Nizy, but it's kind of like
his eyes are heavy.
I'm thinking about Nizy, and I'm like, there's so many Nizy that just don't add up. Like Bill Murray, like I know when I look at his, just the image of him in my head, it doesn't look the same.
Look at that.
So, could you tell us 3 things that you are better than that?
At this point, is anyone thinking anything other than Ni Alpha?
Oh,
I'm still thinking Nijai.
Yeah.
I'm still thinking Nijai.
Considering Nijai, yeah.
Yeah, 3 considered are Nijai, Naiji, and Nizy.
Okay, there. Like he's going to the right, but he's looking away up to the world.
The top and the left.
I can do that.
I'm not so sure I'm seeing.
But you know, even it just depends on what the because like everyone squints, so it's kind of but yeah.
Yeah.
It just depends on what we're seeing when he does that.
Yeah, the emoting, I don't know how far up it's going, but it definitely seems a little more Zach Galifianakis than Sir Davos.
Okay, do you guys see any like head bobbling of me or flashes of me? I haven't.
I only see a certain jitteriness to him, but that could just be HSP. Yeah, it's not it's not overtly a yin jitteriness, you know. It's not a bird like
a fluttery.
Yeah.
Not a fluttery sort of.
Yeah, like for instance.
Yeah, but there are rips like there are people like Timbaland, for example. I don't know how much he moves around. He seems very
What were you saying, Adidas?
What?
What were you?
Oh, I was just because that answer he was giving, he started shaking his head a lot, and I was kind of just calling attention to it because that was an example of where I was saying it doesn't necessarily look overtly a yin kind of bobbly shaking. That's it.
Did you hear that?
Yeah, thank you.
Warcraft has, they've experienced.
There are many shades of twitchy, aren't there?
Yes.
Got a hint? Yeah.
Coach knows what the right answer is.
That seemed like a hint saying that maybe that seemed like a hint saying that Najez aren't the only twitchy ones.
Be careful with that though. Be careful.
It might just be laughing at our confusion between which kind of
Don't let that mess with your head. Yeah. At the end of the day,
in fact, he could be like testing us, like leading us, like hinting at something. But then, if he really knew what the answer was, anyway.
Yeah, just don't read too much into it. Just
at the end of the day, see what you see.
That's exactly. That's what matters.
I gotta be honest. I'm seeing Sir Davos. Like I don't know. I feel the Zach Galifianakis smile spreading upwards. I guess there it is. But it just sometimes Jai does that. You know, it just like blows way up.
Sure.
Not of an IZ though.
We can expect the Brian.
But you do got to be open to the possibility that we could be wrong. Like even though you feel like you see it, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Our perception could be tricking us.
Yeah.
That's true.
When do we want to call it?
Well, after this one.
Yeah.
After this one. Okay.
That's the point. Yeah, we ran over. I apologize, everyone. I just
No. It's all good.
In the world of entrepreneur, that between the World Cup series, so the World Cup.
Let's feel it.
Wait, George Clooney? A little bit of George Clooney?
Bit of Clooney.
You can see a little bit.
Bit of Clooney. I see what you're
I
saying.
see a little bit of like Russell Crowe.
Yeah. Do you guys want to take a look at pictures and for about a minute, and then we'll go around. Make our final calls, everybody.
Everybody.
Is that your final answer?
Are we allowed to give partial answers?
Are we allowed to give partial answers?
Yeah.
We are.
We've done it in the past.
Yep.
Dun, dun, dun.
I'm going to be the king of partial answers.
I think he's a mojo of some kind.
Yeah.
Yes. I think he is interpretive.
Vizai.
He's a mojo.
I'm not sure what it is, but I think he is a mojo.
He's a human being.
Yes.
It is.
It's like,
Even if it was an animal, I mean, you could say dogs have mojo. So.
I don't know.
Sure.
We haven't been able to identify.
This dog has a configuration inside his head of some sort.
I believe he has qualia.
Yes. I believe so too.
Like a dog's nose has a lot of qualia to it. Like you might be able to actually read their nose. Like
that'd be really cool.
Their eyes and their nose are like the biggest amount of qualia on their face, and then it's just their body. And their tail's pretty important too. So it's I don't know what that means, but
Tail indicates.
After we're done with the human race,
there's so much twitching.
Yeah.
Okay,
let's
maybe their nose is indicates perception.
Let's go. Let's start with Bruno.
Wait, give me just 1 second. I want to look at Kevin Smith. Sorry, can I take just a second? Shoot. Oh man, I don't know.
I'm so conflicted.
Put out your best answer.
Yeah.
Or whatever you
Far from life and death.
Where'd you land?
Wait, I know this one. No, I don't. Just well, I really would have to say.
Stall it, Bruno. I need more time.
Well, it just depends, I mean.
I'm gonna say Nizy because I know some people are gonna say something else, so I'm just gonna say Nizy.
Rock on. Cover all right.
Oh, he does the voice of Frawley, huh?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, crazy.
Doomhammer, yeah.
Oh man.
Okay, Glenn, you're up.
Okay. He's tough. I'm gonna have to say he seems very, very directive with his gesturing. But something about him seems like it's Nijai, so I think I have to go Nijai, even though it feels like it's the wrong answer. And then maybe Naiji can be second, and then Naizi can be third. So that's
Cool.
Nice. Infinity, where'd you land?
Naiji then Naizi.
Adema?
Oh, I'm up already. All right. I'm gonna feel so bad if I say something that's like not authentic to what I feel like I see, but okay. I think I'm gonna say Naiji first, then Naizi, and then I guess Nijai third.
All right, I'm gonna say again. This is authentic to what I see, and maybe something else, and maybe totally off. But I think I'm seeing Naiji. And what do you say, Ben?
Nijai, then Naiji, then Naizi.
Nice mix of answers.
What is the answer?
I believe it is Naiji. Tricky. He was tricky.
So hard. So
there were
difficult.
some things that helped me out there. One for sure, the gesturing. His face, he gave a lot of kind of impishness in sort of ways, but his ears were directed. Wizardly cunning. So definitely, I was seeing the Nai Alpha. But as far as seeing the G, he was tricky that way. The Gaff, the Zach Galifianakis was a very good riff.
That was a good riff.
Excellent.
And you know what
well done.
Someone said George Clooney. It wasn't George Clooney, but I actually did get a very strong riff. In fact, the strongest riff I got was of a subjective Ginai, the Russian pitbull. Arlovsky.
Andrei Arlovsky.
He looks like he looks subjective, and Arlovsky also looks like he's doing a very good impression sometimes of Zinai.
Oh,
looks very impassive.
Can you spell his last name?
I am Russian. You're Zinai. I'm Russian.
he was sometimes he was giving me little flashes of Matt Stone from South Park.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there we go.
He was tricky though.
Yeah.
Oh man, I knew how.
Yeah,
I forget was saying it, but one thing to watch out for is he was definitely trying to give across the impression of I'm in control. And La Naiji, they zide up a lot. Not necessarily the Those Den zide. They can be very alpha-like directing, but they try not to seem too emotional about things. Actually, Vaiji politicians will do that too, where they try to seem very emotional while very much trying to persuade you to their point of view. And they use the fact that I'm not really emotionally invested as a way of saying, like, you should listen to me.
Yeah, they have a thing about not seeming like irrational in a way.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we did a good job. I don't care what they say. I think we did a sick job canvassing. Like the fact that we made like Naizi in there, that was.
He was a tough one. That was a tough one. I keep looking at him. He does. He has a funny looking face in his mouth there.
Yeah.
But yeah.
You remind me of
I don't know what that. Maybe just the beard part. She was saying Mr. Man.
Actually, the mouth clamp for sure.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
The mouth, but that reminded me a little bit of him. So.
All right, everyone, we've gone a little bit over here, but it was a lot of fun. So great job.
Sure.
Good job, because that was a tough one, but you guys stayed tough on that and kept canvassing. All righty. So before we leave,
Thank you for reading my samples, Coach.
Totally.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm next.
Okay, great. So Ben, if you could post the answers for this quiz on the forum, and then if you could post the samples for next week, that'd be great.
Yeah, I'll do that tomorrow.
Sounds
okay,
good.
wonderful. All right, everyone.
Awesome.
Have a great evening, and try not to be too hot if you're here in Cali.
Have a great evening, guys.
Okay, cool.
Great night, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.